I'll call the meeting of the San Diego City Council's meeting of Monday, January 7th, 2012 to order.
Yes, item 200, calling a special election to fill Council District 4 seat. Beginning with speakers in favor, Dwayne Crenshaw.
Good afternoon, Council President Gloria, members of the Council. Happy New Year. I have a brief PowerPoint presentation for you today, essentially saying that representation for all District 4 residents needs to occur now. There are copies going around. I apologize for the quality of the copies. But there are three key principal goals that we are articulating today. One, and most importantly, no voter should be disenfranchised. Two, 4th District residents need a representative as soon as possible. And three, we must save taxpayers' money by consolidating the election with the state 40th Senate District election. The first point, no voter should be disenfranchised. As you are probably well aware by quirk of the municipal code, voters in Redwood Village and Rolando Park would be excluded from this vote. I am urging the council to allow them to vote in this election and take whatever steps you can to afford that opportunity. At the same time, I understand the logic, perhaps circular, that voters who voted in 2010 for representative should also have a right to vote for the replacement, and the reason why the code, both for the state and the city, is written that way. So in addition, I would say those voters in the old District 4 should also not be disenfranchised, and their expectations should also be honored. So I urge the council to make sure that all residents of District 4, new, continuing, and old, have a voice in this special election. The second point is the 4th District needs representation as soon as possible. There are many key decisions that will come before the City Council in the coming months, and District 4 needs a voice. Today, we know you will be taking up a Port Commission appointments, 2 of them, and I would join with many others I'm sure you'll hear later, in asking you to wait until District 4 seat is filled. But we also know in this time frame, as the City Clerk has laid out, we will have budget hearings, we will have CDBG, we will have TOT. The District 4 City Council needs a voice at the table, and to do that, we must have the election as soon as possible. I think the governor agrees with that for the voters and the residents of the 40th Senate and has called March 12th, and I urge this council to follow suit. In the interim of the election and perhaps a runoff, which is likely with a number of candidates, I would encourage Council President Gloria and your responsibility and all the council members to afford the candidates, both in the primary and the 2 in the runoff, to be giving full access to information and briefings, as well as the opportunity to afford meaningful input on behalf of the constituents that they are talking to door to door and day to day in that process. But again, the earlier the date, the better for the residents to have a voice on these key city issues. And then lastly, the City Clerk's report notes that the City of San Diego will save $100,000 by consolidating the election with the 40th State Senate District. I likewise prepared my presentation prior to the governor's announcement recently, but the city must consolidate the election with the 40th State Senate special primary election. We must save that $100,000. It would be imprudent, it would be wrong to charge the taxpayers, and it would confuse the voters that overlap between the 40th and the 4th. Whether it's 1 week or 2 weeks later, there will be confusion. We must consolidate, we must save those dollars. As a candidate, and there's no surprise that I am one of those, and there are others in the room, and as you all know, we have all known about this vacancy since early November. It is unfortunate that this council was not afforded the opportunity to hear this matter before the end of the new year, but that is the reality that we are faced with. 11 candidates have already found their way to the city clerk's office to file candidate intention statements. Former City Council member William Jones told me many years ago as a candidate, if you can't identify 100 people to support your campaign, you shouldn't be running. I understand 4 days is short. I would actually say this is a special occasion, and I know the City Clerk's office works tremendously hard. Be open on Saturday. That is the 12th, the 60 days out that is required by law. 2 weeks is not required by law. That is flexible. The 60 days is set. Do it on the 12th. Save the city the money. Get District 4 represented as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you.